What's up, Blade Breakers? Class is in session, and today we're going to be looking at the Xtreme Battle Set. Now, I already got the box and everything actually taken apart, set aside so that we can actually look at this a little bit easier so you don't sit and watch me cut tape and stuff for like 5 minutes, right? This comes with a Stadium, 2 light launchers, and they are Hasbro, and then we've got the 2 beys that are in here. This is them kind of colliding. Really, really good looking. Drawn Dagger and Tusk Mammoth, or I guess Dagger Drawn, right? Because Hasbro's crazy with their names. You can see Dagger Drawn, Tusk Mammoth, and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys don't know how Beyblade X works, right? You're going to score by getting a survivor finish, which is 1 point. And then there's 2 points for a knockout, which will be in the pockets. We'll talk about that in a sec. And then right here, we've got 2 points for a burst finish, and then 3 points for an extreme finish, which is awesome, but for some reason they call it an extreme finish with an X, and then they don't follow through. If you guys are looking at this, basically this is just kind of like, oh, check it out, this is what happens. So they speed into high gear. We obviously already knew that. They use the accelerator rail, right? I'm pretty sure it's what Hasbro calls it. I'm not gonna get the name straight, you guys. I've been takara tomy since day one. I get all my Beyblades from them until Hasbro finally decided they're actually gonna do some stuff with this. And to be honest, I was very excited when Hasbro did this, and I have looked. They are Durometer tested, right? So they are the same beys. We'll talk about that a little bit more once we get into the down and dirty, right? So this is what comes in the set. Don't mind the glare. You have the actual stadium here. You got the knockout zones, right? This is going to be where you're going to get that KO finish. You have the extreme finish zone, which is the one that's worth 3 points. So it's kind of an end pocket that we'll show you guys here in a bit. And then you have another knockout zone, right? Those are what you would typically call the pockets, right? From some of the Hasbro metal stadiums have those. They usually have 2. Battle zone, obviously this is where they're gonna be. And then the extreme line or accelerator rail. They should have spelled it with an X. Like if you look, it's obviously spelled with an A just right there. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but you know, that's how it is. This is the stadium. This is what we're going to be talking about. And to be honest with you, I'm not fully sure if I am going to enjoy the stadium or not. I think I'm going to enjoy it because you have a lot smaller area to battle in, and the pockets, right? The pockets right here are really deep. That'll become more apparent when we actually put the lid on, and I'll show you guys that in a sec. But what I really wanted to show you, right, is what the extreme line is going to look like from a takara tomy stadium. And we'll see if I can actually even fit this in here because it's so big. It is a lot larger when it comes to size for the extreme line. That is your size difference, you guys. The top piece is lined up and the bottom piece is lined up, and that's a good sizable difference. That's a good gap. And it is, you can see that it is very oval shaped for the Hasbro Extreme line. If you are looking at these pieces right here, that's going to cause a lot of stress on this stadium as far as the sides go, because you're going to get a lot of extreme dashes. It's going to be frequent. Like they only have to reach here. And if you guys know anything about Beyblade, when the bey comes in, it's going to hit that extreme line quicker, and then it's going to still be that same curve, but you're going to see that happen far more often because the stadium is thinner, I guess you could say. This is obviously a wider stadium with the takara tomy parts. And I'm actually very excited about that. I think it's going to be just as fun. And the main gimmick of this stadium, or not gimmick, but the main part of the stadium is that the pockets are way better, honestly, because you can't get that hole. You get knocked into the pocket and it goes and boom, comes back out, and then you lose anyway. obviously that's fun for some people, but I personally don't like it because usually you're going to lose. You do have that chance of winning later on in the match if you can come out of the pocket fast enough. But I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference there. And honestly, just the fact that Hasbro has something is incredible. I wish Hasbro had done this from day one. I guess the first generation Metal Fight, first generation was pretty much non-existent for Hasbro, and then you got into Metal Fight, and that was kind of decent. I actually kind of liked it, and then Burst happened, and Burst was just terrible, so that's why I didn't even do videos for Burst. But Burst was just terrible. I do like the smaller stadium here, so we'll get all this out of your way real quick. All right, so these are the clips, and real quick, no, this isn't some super cool blader wristband. I actually fractured my wrist, and I'm actually recovering, right? So no, I'm not super cool. It actually is kind of painful. So these are the clips. I'm only gonna show one. It's really simple. I mean, a kid could do it. So you're gonna push it in like that. You push one side all the way in, and then the other one, you just do that until it does that clicking sound. So that's the stadium for you guys. I am super excited. I can't wait to launch some bays into it. But now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, the good stuff, right? Obviously, this is a must buy. You need this stadium. And then you're going to look at, okay, what does it come with? A Hasbro exclusive and a top tier attack part in the blade of drawn dagger, or dagger drawn, I guess. So we'll take a look at those guys real quick. I actually have them right here. And we will zoom in. The OG logo staying with us as always. So these are the two bays that you're gonna get here. Blue, drawn dagger, right? And then, or dagger drawn. I'm sorry, you guys. There's no way I'm gonna remember that. And then Tusk Mammoth. So we're gonna save Tusk Mammoth because I actually want to do dagger drawn first. And this blade is just so cool. I actually really like this. A lot of people don't really like the dagger drawn. They say it's not competitive, but I don't care about competitive. So there's dagger drawn. He is extremely clean looking. I am loving this. There's the QR code. I am gonna be making videos on the app. I just haven't, the QR codes aren't working for me. So I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to look at it later on. This is the ratchet. And so this is actually going to be, sorry about the noise there, 460. So 60 in the height. You can see the difference in the ratchet. You'll be able to tell once we get like some 70s and some 80s on the channel. And then 4 for the blades, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are going to be what makes the bay burst. So they do burst. Rush is extremely good. It is probably one of the better attacking bits, and it does have high burst resistance. So I don't have another bit to show you guys because the Tusk Mammoth one is the same, but this bit is really good because you can see this piece right here, this piece kind of like protruding. That is actually extra burst resistance. So when you are setting up the bay, right, you're actually going to take the ratchet and you're just gonna line up those shapes there. It kind of sits in place. And then I'll turn this for you. I don't know if you could hear that. It's a little click. So then you put the bit in and the ratchet keeps it from moving, right? Obviously, it's a little bit difficult to actually burst it with your hand if you're trying to. And that's because of the high burst resistance. So the 4 on the ratchet is not the greatest. You're going to see that those are going to protrude a lot. And the Tusk Mammoth bay is actually going to have a better part on it, which I think is honestly really cool and something that makes it worthwhile. This is probably the best part of this unboxing here, which is going to be Tusk Mammoth. He is so clean looking. I'm honestly in love with this bay. I think this might be my favorite Hasbro bay so far for the exclusives. There's the code for you guys. Obviously, it is a retool of a current Takara Tomy Bey, which is Hell's Chain, I believe. And so it's going to actually be similar to that in performance, but I don't think it's going to be something that really concerns you guys. We're going to talk next about the bit because it's pretty simple. There's not a lot to talk about. This bit is the taper bit. So it's kind of similar to like a whole flat, except they tapered that flat piece. It still has the hole in it. So kind of a balanced bit, right? A decent amount of attack, some stamina for you guys. So it's still going to be really good. And then this is the ratchet I was mentioning. So this is the 360 ratchet. So same height, right? You're going to see what changes for the heights is going to be this clear piece right here. It's going to have basically different heights. It'll either have a skirt or extended pieces. And then you can see there's actually 3 little, I don't even know what you call them, indentations. And that's for the 60. So 60 millimeters is how high it is. So that's what those are for. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, right? So that's the height. And 3, you can see this is far more circular than the other ratchet. So just to compare, right? That's what the difference is. I'm going to switch them because this one's cooler, right? That is the difference. You can see how much more of a circle the other one, right, the 360 is going to be than the 460. So obviously this one is going to be way better for withstanding attacks and stuff like that. And it is still a little bit circular on the 460, but those protrusions are going to make it difficult because if you look here, that's right here, and that's not going to really hit a lot. That's protruding. And ironically, against an attack type like Drawn Dagger, he's going to hit right here. That's where he's hitting. So it is going to be chaotic when they hit each other. Honestly, I'm very excited for Tusk Mammoth, probably my favorite Bey. We're not actually going to launch Tusk Mammoth. I'm going to put him away because I do not want him getting damaged. You can't even hear the click, but I don't want him getting damaged. I'm going to put him away in a case, you know, but there he is just one more time for you. And yes, there are bit beasts because this is the bit. This is considered the bit chip, which is the same as the old generation. And when you spin the bit beast moves. The beast that is on that bit moves. Therefore, bit beasts are still in the new generation. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Obviously, the lore doesn't outright call them bit beasts, but I honestly think that they're still bit beasts if you're an old generation fan. And we're going to go ahead and weigh everything here. Before that, we're going to actually talk about the light launcher. Now, I still have kind of small hands, right? So you can see it's very difficult. 3 fingers. I mean, you can kind of hold it with your palm like that, but then when you get a Bey, that's gonna rub against your hand. You can see the contact there, and that's gonna hurt. Maybe not with a smaller Bey, but with one of them that has attack points and stuff like that, they're all right. I mean, here, listen. So it's not terrible. Like, if you're gonna use these, that's totally fine, right? A lot of you guys are kids, so that's going to be, okay for you. It's not necessarily what you need, right? If you want to know what you should get, this is what you need to get. Now, this is the Bey pointer, right, from Takara Tomy, about $35. Then you have the launcher grip. Now, imagine I had a little bit bigger hands. You're talking about fitting this whole launcher in your hand, and that's got some weight to it. Like, I'm liking this. And then it also has one of your standard launchers that you can get. It's called just a ripcord, right? Obviously, the other one's a ripcord launcher, but this is going to be your light launcher. So if you don't want to buy that, you have the winder launcher, and you can actually take the Bey Pass, right? The Bey Battle Pass on and off. I prefer the Bey Battle Pass just because it gives it a little bit of forward heaviness. It makes me feel like a blader, you guys. You know, you have to have that, especially if you're an OG fan when Tyson gets his first actual winder launcher, because before he has one of these bad boys and he just spins his wrist when he launches, and that's how he launches. So there is also a string launcher, right? Beyblade X string launcher. This is very good. This is what we're going to be using for a majority of the videos because honestly, string launchers are easier on my wrist, and I don't have a second person. So the power that you get from this is going to be easier. Like, it's going to be replaced better with the control that you're going to get from this for me, for videos, right? But it is still an incredible launcher, still has really good power. And for those of you guys that don't have, you know, you don't want to use this little baby launcher and you don't have the stuff from Takara Tomy, right? If you're comparing the launchers, this is where it's going to go. There is a Phoenix set that has a red one of these, and that's a must buy as well. So the Stadium, the string launcher, and then get yourselves that winder launcher right here, and you'll be set. Honestly, I think those are the main things to buy. The other Beyblades are, if you really want them, you can get them. There's really no downside to it. And we're gonna go ahead and get into weighing this, right? So here is the scale here. Nice digital scale. Wait for it to zero out. And there it is. So that's just the blade, right? So the blade's $34.99. That's honestly pretty good. If you're going to compare it, right, with another bay like Tusk Mammoth, he's sitting at 32. So 33. We'll round up. 33 versus 35. 2 grams is not going to make a difference. What you're going to see the weight, like when the weight matters, is when you get into the full combo with the bit and the ratchet, and you weigh this. Whoops. 43. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent. I would say that is probably your average weight for a Beyblade release. I don't think you're going to have any problems with that weight. And if you compare it to something like Tusk Mammoth, pretty close, right? That 2 gram difference from the blade is still there, but 41.26 versus 43.3, that's pretty much only 2 grams difference. That's not going to be something that is going to annoy you guys or anything like that. I wouldn't say it is going to be a concern for you. It's pretty much going to be how it is. I wouldn't really get concerned about it too much, you guys. That's the weight for you. We are going to do a test launch real quick in the HASBRO Stadium here, just with the string launcher. And we're going to just do good old dagger drawn. I got it right that time, you guys. So, right, 3 prongs, you line them up, put it in. I always turn it until it's pretty steady, right? And then you launch. So there you go. That's really clean. That's really some really good spin there. Obviously, that is an attack type, so he's going to spin a lot better. We'll go ahead. I know, you guys want me to, right? You want me to do a test spin with Tusk Mammoth. There you go. And you can see the difference in the speed. He's already chilling. He's already going to be moving a lot different than dagger drawn. The extreme line right is going to be very lean and very tapered. This is what it looks like in the pockets here. They're huge. You're not coming out of that. Like, I mean, I have to like reach my entire hand in to get that out of there. That's crazy. I mean, that's insane, you guys. I think the pockets being deep is better, honestly, and these bays do look bigger in here. So honestly, HASBRO Stadium W, it is still super clean, and we'll just do one more launch to end it off here. We'll do a little harder launch. So you can see right away, he's hitting that extreme line. Drawn dagger, insane, or dagger drawn, gosh dang it. And then he's gonna calm down. Obviously, if they were actually battling, it would be a lot better. But the main point of the video is I wanted to talk to you guys about the stadium, pros and cons, right? Obviously, the pockets are deeper. You've got a thinner extreme line, and there's going to be more extreme dashes, better KOs, I guess you could say, right? If you're looking at the beys and they're going to be colliding, that's really the main focus of getting that. So just to kind of sum up, nice little light launchers, right? You got the stadium and the two beys. We'll get the bits out real quick, and you can just pull them out, honestly. So there you go. Sorry about any glare, but really, these are super clean Beyblades. I'm honestly loving both of them. We are going to be battling with drawn dagger. Dagger drawn, it's never going to change, you guys. Takara Tommy's still the GOAT, even if Hasbro finally picked their shit up off the floor. You know what I'm saying? Get the string launcher, right? This is a must-buy set. Then you buy the string launcher with Soar Phoenix, right? I'm pretty sure that's the naming convention. So you can see they did use the Metal Saga convention. If they would have used Takara Tommy's, you have like Dragoon Storm. That is the Takara Tommy naming convention. So this is dagger drawn. So the Bit Beast comes first in the Takara Tommy naming convention. And then when you get something like a Hasbro line of toys, that's when you're going to see Tusk Mammoth. So the Bit Beast is actually secondary to the rest of the blade. Rest of the Beyblade, I should say. So let me know what you guys think. Honestly, so excited for this. Beyblade finally being good in Hasbro. You can finally pick this up. It's not the greatest, right? If you guys are like, that's way too much money, I do have 2 stadiums that you can buy. Not the Hasbro one, right? I have 2 Takara Tommy stadiums. If you would like to purchase them off of me for like $20 for one that's unwrapped, and then maybe $30 for the one that's wrapped because it's got all the stuff on it and you can resell value if you really wanted to. That's pretty much where we're at. Let me know if you guys let me know down in the comments, because I know a lot of you guys want to battle, and if I can give you a stadium for super cheap, I will. It's just who I am. And if you want to get one from me, just let me know down in the comments. So love this set. I think Tusk Mammoth is probably one of my favorite Beyblades to ever release for Hasbro. There is a Transformers set. We'll check that out later. And stay tuned, because I'm double uploading with a Takara Tommy old generation unboxing. So that's going to be awesome. Can't wait for you guys to see that. And yeah, that's the class. Peace out.